Welcome back to more of the Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. Last time... Yeah... I am so sorry for how angry I got, but I really hate that side quest. This time, we're actually going to head straight over to Sanctime Gate to talk to Anton, and while we're there, it would probably be faster just to walk straight to Grancel, but no, the plot demands we have to take an airship, so we'll be going back to Zeiss afterwards. Yeah, see, Anton's actually panicking now. And so he's going back to where it all began. Oh yeah, I wanted to show this too. This is a pretty funny conversation. Yep, I don't think his advice is exactly working. Yeah, I wanted to show that. The one who had a crush on Volta now has a crush on a priest. So, yeah, kind of interesting taste there. So if you talk to Freddy now, you'll get a bit more of a conversation here with Estelle. We will be back in Roland someday, though. Wow, that was some fast training. And I guess you learned the unexpected skill of how to maintain equipment during an earthquake. My notes also say to talk to these two with Tita in the party. Okay, guess they've captured that. Yeah, probably related to the same kind of technology, given the Gospel was running it. Well, they really should be. Well, there probably won't be any earthquakes anymore. The bad news is that whatever member of the society comes next is probably planning something even worse. Not exactly sure that's kind of the image the factory wants, but anyway. Also, if we talk to this guy... Yeah, it's implied that it's Muriel that he's talking about. So, yeah, we've got another NPC subplot going on. Oh, and hi, Gundolf. Actually has a semi-unique portrait, but I don't think we ever see him fight. Ah yes, the great successes of Estelle Bright. You could easily make a novel out of that at this point. Yeah, investigating someone who is kickstarting earthquakes. Yeah, we are. We were just about to do that, in fact. And considering what's currently going on in Grancel, I think I know what that official request pertains to. One more thing that I want to say before we head out though. So here, you can buy premium herb tea for 1000 mirror. This is a scam, reason being that buying 8 azalea fruit, 8 fresh herbs, and 8 royal leaves together costs only 400 mira, so I actually went ahead and made some more tea myself. Also, because that last battle kind of destroyed me, I made 8 rainbow surprises, so that's a good stock of ammunition for later battles that are going to be that tough, but hopefully nothing will be that tough in the near future. The only thing I really remember being particularly bad in the next chapter is one monster quest, although it's been a while since I played the end boss fight of chapter 3 on hard, and I have heard a lot of people have trouble with that fight. I don't remember having particular trouble with it on my first run, but we'll see. So yes, we will go back to Zeiss later, but not for a long time. So before you leave here, you want to make sure that you have Mountain Man Stew, Flour Milkshake, Ambrosial Egg, Premium Herb Tea, Fruit Kingdom, Tomatrio Sandwich, Foul Magma Roast, Seafood Jelly, Macho Meat Stew, Passion Omelette, and Rainbow Surprise. That's a lot of dishes. And the magic numbers for chess and BP are 108 BP, and your achievement log should say 123 chess at this point. But yeah, just wanted to go ahead and show a few NPC conversations before we left, because they're always nice to see. Again, the world is always moving, and it's just kind of nice to see the lives of the people in the factory, and just how they're all progressing with their careers. So don't waste very much time in taking us straight onto the airship here. No one to really say goodbye to at this point, because we kind of already said all our goodbyes, and anyone else is coming with us. So definitely getting much shorter and sweeter here, but we still have a bit of an airship intermission. With soundtrack by Olivier. And immediately cuts off. I'm surprised that Sieg isn't just pecking him repeatedly at this point. So as usual, just talking to everyone. Oh wow, that would be horrifying. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you said camera, because, yeah. Don't want someone loving airships a little too much. Just like those characters in Valkyria Chronicles who are a bit too attached to tanks. Well, funny you should mention that, because we as players know that Amalthea is still at large and plans something to break out Richard. Oh, okay, Ambassador Cochrane. Well, thankfully he's not referring to her as Elsa, otherwise, you know, stuff would be, memeing. True, they've got some pretty good stuff there. That's also where Estelle got her outfit, I'm pretty sure. Well, they kind of are. Yeah, we'll actually find out more about, how Agate views Tita later into this game. Like I've said, Agate gets a lot more character exploration in this one, especially if you choose his ruse. So, this one obviously is pretty different on the share route as well. We've actually made our way into the last chapter that's going to be different with the routes, because once we get to chapter 4, the routes will converge. Yeah, I envy Estelle. I wish I could sleep on planes. Then again, the airships do move incredibly... Like, someone actually calculated how many kilometers per hour these airships are going at, and it's very, very slow. Which makes sense, given that people can actually stand up and walk around outside on them. They're really more like ferries that fly through the air. Oh, right! Tita's parents! Yeah, they're, Unfortunately, you don't actually meet them until the third game, but they're worth the wait, trust me. Tita's parents are amazing. It kind of reminds me of, like, if... I can picture it, if this was a D&D campaign, I can just picture the DM being like, oh, come on, I can't wait until I introduce Tita's parents. The players are gonna love them so much. Hopefully she wrote good things. Oh yeah, this. Not really. That's about all we'll get on her now, but that's very true. Yeah, let's just say that, her mother takes after her father quite a lot. But her father's a lot more mild-mannered. And him being a bracer certainly, explains why she took such a shine to Estelle and Agate in a way. Ah, that kind of thing. You know, what the arrow in the knee quote from Skyrim was supposed to be about, but then it became a meme. Oh yes, yeah, that would be interesting. That would be interesting, let's just say. Well, actually they kind of do. Yeah, I can see it now. This is the guy who took a bullet for me. Also, Agate actually taking the bullet for Tita is an artwork in the Evolution remake, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, as a bit of a teaser, Agate will meet Tita's parents one day. And, it will be amazing. I'll just say that. Look forward to the third game. It happens pretty early into the third game, too, so you don't have to wait all that long. There's also a second conversation with Tita here. Ah, yes, magic. Magic explains everything. Yeah, so I was about to, like, liken it to artificial gravity in sci-fi, but it really is basically an artificial gravity. I think he's learned to just smile and nod at this point. And we're sharing one of those engines with the Republic and the Empire. Yeah, that was the time when Murdoch started going to church 3 times a week. Okay, so a bit of a nice conversation there. I'll probably save going out onto the deck until last, because we all know who's there. Yeah, remember that. That wall's been there for quite some time. Oh no, Jimmy, do not go looking for treasure ever again! Okay, they're doing it in the Royal Villa. Well, I mean, considering that there was a hostage situation there just a few months ago. Yeah, those kind of events, I'm pretty sure they would keep them very heavily locked down. Yeah, even regular citizens think that's suspicious. Yeah, we've already kind of been there, done that. The sad thing is, I don't think you're ever actually in Ruin when the election happens. Which is kind of a shame. And this is our first time talking to Zin on a flight. All alone. I'm so sorry. I can never not do that now. It's ruined me. Fates has ruined me. That's something to take out of context. So yeah, I believe this is where we get a bit of a backstory dump on Zin. Sunglasses Wolf Guy. Yes, that is his name now. Yeah, that's something to drop really casually. So this is actually a lot like a concept in Street Fighter called Ansatsu-ken, I think it is, which is sometimes called Ryu and Ken's fighting style, and that's completely wrong. So, still a little bit that isn't being said there. You get a little bit of extra dialogue if you talk to him again. That explains some things. Yeah, hopefully we get to talk about that when we inevitably meet her again. So that's all we learned for now. There's a little more to that story, but it does involve Kilika pretty prominently. Oh yeah, we ran into her earlier. I take it that happens often. So that's all you get out of Zin right now. Maybe we'll be able to see some sheep! Yet another seeing person at the wheel. That'd make sense. It is pretty much one of the main hubs of Liberl. And now, it's Olivier time. Huh, if they were at the hot springs and you were reporting, you gonna be reporting on the Mega Sheepatron incident? I take it a lot of your recitals are solo. Great. I love the dialogue that Olivier prompts in other people so much. I mean, it's true, he is a very good musician, and not just with that lute, he's good at playing the piano too. Yeah, well, that was about to happen. That was inevitable. You should have seen that coming. You really should have seen that coming. Sega's great. Yes. Well, we did use them together in the last game quite a lot. I actually did get pecked on the head by a bird as a child, so, this is kind of bringing back bad memories for me. Yeah, do not go to, do not go around woods in parks during nesting season. That's usually a bad idea. Yeah, actually pretty true. Well, I mean, she took on Cassius earlier. Oh, yes, of course you will. In other words, she inflicted one of the Crash Bandicoot 3 death animations on that guy. That would have been something to see. Well, you already did that at the baths. And Estelle already had that mental image, so now it's just making it worse. You know, I was kind of about to say that. He kind of had it coming. And that's it. Time for us to land in Grancel. So, some decent backstory on Zin there, and a bit of a precursor to us likely meeting Julia again. I do sort of like these sort of intermission moments, because they do give you some much-needed downtime between chapters, or in this case, between chapters and horrifically brutal side quests. That's one thing that I feel a lot of RPGs need, also ones in a row here, is downtime between major dungeons and boss fights. And so here we are, back in Grancel, except now we actually get to explore the place. Yep, there's a conspicuous empty space down there. This is also the airport back where we, oh, speaking of which, there's actually a really interesting bit of localization trivia regarding that. But, yeah. This is where we found one of the Carnelian novels last time. Yeah, I thought this had something to do with a new engine. So yeah, that bit of localization trivia is that, they refer to all of these places as landing ports in the Sky games. The exact same term is used in Erebonia in Cold Steel, but they're translated as airports there. The localizers considered patching the game to make that more consistent, and then they decided, you know what, let's add some world building by making it like a legitimate regional difference. Just like, you know, like how Britain says aubergine and America says eggplant. Or how, I actually found this out only recently, but America, the UK, and Australia all have different ways to refer to what's on the side of the road. It's sidewalk in the US, pavement in the UK, and footpath in Australia. So yeah, they actually decided to do something like that and say, okay, let's just make it so that people in Liberl call them landing ports and people in Erebonia call them airports. And yeah, back to the dialogue. True, and we did stop that earthquake plan. Because if we hadn't told Leyston Fortress about the earthquake earlier, then Cassius might not have been able to prepare them for that. Then again, he is Cassius, so he might have done it anyway. Oh, I think one of my favorite lines in the entire series is coming up right now. Okay, then. True, this universe has phones, so they obviously have phone taps as well. I wonder when those were invented. Oh. Huh, well, yeah, you probably should have thought about that, earlier. Yeah, true. Also, you directly cooperating together like that would probably violate the Bracer Guild's code. That's what I was wondering about too. Not exactly. And yeah, Chloe's pointing this out, and this actually definitely has a lot of basis in the real world. Because if a country willingly breaks a treaty like that, it doesn't reflect well on them. Yeah, Tina being as kind of naive and optimistic as ever, but I like to think it'll help. Yes! Yes! This is the line! This is the line! Yeah, when I believe when I first played this game, I actually took a screenshot of this line. I love this line. This is one of my favorite lines in the whole series. This is just, I can't believe it. This line is so good. I'm just gonna leave it on screen for a bit. Well, after all that talk about not being able to use the phones... Oh, well, that definitely seems like a step down from potentially stopping an international incident, but if there's a lost child running around at the villa where the signing is going to happen, I guess it can't hurt to look. And so we have our first task in Grancel. Heading to the villa to find the lost child. Oh yeah, tell me about it. And by that, I mean after I've done one side quest, because there is actually one quest in Grancel. It's just a monster quest. Oh, we know that guy. That was Niall's contact at the villa. And so, let's begin exploring Grancel. I think I'll just go with the two people who are the lowest level here. And so if we check the bulletin board, we have two, and they're both monster quests. Herb Scenic Root Monster and Grancel Sewer Monster. Specialized in blood-sucking attacks, maybe weak to fire arts. Okay then, so we're gonna head to the Grancel Sewers East block to take care of that, but before we do, there's actually quite a lot of optional stuff to do in Grancel, including quite a lot of food that we can buy. So do you have anything for us? Yes, we do. We have mobility popcorn. I'm gonna just go ahead and buy it and then eat it all at once later. Sweet crepe and mystery crepe. Actually, speed plus 10% is not that bad. I might as well get a few of those. Clock Up EX is a lot better, but sometimes you don't have time to cast Clock Up EX. Speaking of which, I really should have used that more often in the last fight. I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't, and I also should have used Clock Down. I don't know why I didn't use Clock Down on the Penguin, but I didn't, and I really am mentally kicking myself for not doing that. Anyway, here we can get Seafood Hot Pot. Mocking Pie. And they also sell more Trematrio sandwiches. Again, they're expensive, but definitely worth it. We could also update our weapons and armor while we're here, but I might want to wait until I get a little bit more money before I start doing that. And we need to, basically we're doing a pub crawl of this place. Curry of Dreams. I'm gonna have to convert some sepia to mirror because I'm running a bit low. Here we have Nap Killer, and also this description's amazing. And we can also get more herb sandwiches, but yeah. Okay, so while we're here, I kind of want to stop by at LaBelle News, actually, just to see how they're doing. This is not the thing that I was really wanting to be doing here, but I want to see if anyone who knows Niall and Dorothy is in. Oh, okay, I guess the election's over. Oh yeah, her story on the Mega Sheepatron in the Hot Springs might probably be regulated to one of the later pages. As it probably should be, given how weird it is. But yeah, what I was actually here for is, bizarrely enough, outside Grancel Cathedral, there are some pigeons. One of these pigeons is named Eggs. And yeah, you've got to be really slow. Hash brown. Yeah, they're all named after breakfast foods. Oh, Golden Toast. I believe you're actually the one we need to find here. So, I think I was wrong. No, Eggs is later. Eggs is still in this same chapter, but Golden Toast is outside the cathedral. Now, I believe Golden Toast is the one pigeon that is not missable. The other two are missable, and they are bacon and eggs. And if you find all three of them, you get an achievement. I don't know what the localizers were thinking when they did that, but they were just, I don't know, they were just kind of being a bit crazy. Also, here's something new to Grancel. We can actually head out to the port. This place was not accessible throughout the entirety of the first chapter. But yeah, you can go here now, and it's actually a very big area. There is a reason why I came here, though, and that's because there should be someone in here. Yep, it's Filio, the guy that we completely humiliated at gambling. Unfortunately, we brought Olivier here. Maybe Olivier should, leave now, in case he realizes that something was up. But at least he's learned his lesson. So yeah, like I said, this place is really, really big, and there are also some fishing spots in here if you're so inclined. But back out here... This is, yeah, it's actually marked as General Morgan's residence now. I don't think it ever was in the first game. And this is General Morgan's granddaughter. She's not really saying all that much, but it's nice to know that she remembers being rescued in the last game. So we get a little bit more info on General Morgan there. And we do get a little bit of interesting information if we talk to Archbishop Current here. And he immediately brushes it off. I think you might be able to figure out who he is. So, in Grancel North Block, if we head up to this house... So, I described it in the last game, but this house was the site of a bit of a NPC subplot. Basically, this guy was obsessed with fishing, and his wife eventually disappeared, and he thought that his wife was leaving him, but it turned out that she was actually going out joining the Fishers Guild and perfecting her fishing skills. And now they both fish together, but she's now better than he is. But you want to talk to her, actually. Because, as a bit of a nod to that subplot, you will actually get a new fishing rod out of this. You can get this at any time during this chapter, I believe. So you don't have to get it now, but I like to take care of that now. Bamboo fishing rod is also kind of useful for catching some particular types of fish. There are certain types of bait you can only use with it. So, in the Grancel East block, there are a few things that I can show here. The first is that, oh, is that you? Yeah, that's Jimmy, yeah. So Jimmy's going to the History Museum. Yeah, so I guess he actually did decide that it belongs in a museum. Wow, Estelle. Blunt as always. I've been told there's a couple of people to talk to in the History Museum. Santos is the one that we did that quest for with Dorothy to take that tower photo. Of course, we probably erased all our memories of the time we spent with Dorothy because of NPC. Yeah, that is true. And the ruins underneath Grancel Castle were too. Well, I mean, Professor Alba certainly achieved results, but he had a bit of an unfair advantage. Speaking of which, if we talk to this guy... Oh yes, charming! Charming and not at all sinister or evil at all! Yeah, remember that? We actually saw him at pretty much all of those towers. Also... Yeah, Estelle's, fallen victim to his memory-altering powers. She barely even remembers who he was. Yeah, that's a creepy thought, but... And here we are, we can get some ice cream here. So I already have Royal Gelato, but if you didn't get that at Janus Royal Academy, you can get it now. We can also get Sunshine Ice and Moonlight Ice. Also, they forgot the percent for the defense here. It's actually defense plus 15%. Anyway, like, these actually sound really nice. I don't think I've really tried Orange Gelato. I've tried, anyway, I'll buy this too. I've tried Blood Orange Gelato, and Apple Gelato is pretty good as well. Also, yeah, this Ultima ice cream, actually very, very useful for that 20 CP. It's also, I mean, actually, Tomatrio Sandwich is a bit more efficient when it comes to cost to CP ratio, but that one does heal a little more. But there's one thing that we can do in particular down here, and that's talk to our old friends Anton and Ricky. They are back where it all began. And so, Anton is, yeah. Well, that's one way to cheer him up. So I'm going to go into Adel Department Store for a second, because there is it you who sells? Yep, there we go, LaBelle News Issue 4. We also have Anti-Cold Helmet, which is essentially a better version of the soft knit cap. Hint, we might want to buy these later. Not quite now, though, but yeah, later. Also, I want to go ahead and talk to the T-Girl here. Because these two are actually kind of, they have a bit of their own subplot in this game. So yeah, the sisters had a bit of a rivalry in FC. Now you there, please tell me that you're actually selling... Why couldn't we buy this in the last chapter? Anyway, that's pretty much all we have to do in Grancel at this point, so I thought I may as well read LaBelle News Issue 4. Earthquake's over. Zeiss stopped shaking. The earthquakes plaguing Zeiss have finally ended, it seems. The Wolf Fort incident mentioned in our previous edition was only the beginning. The city of Zeiss, Sanctheim Gate, and Leiston Fortress were all hit by quakes as well, causing distress in the region. Sudden declaration of safety. However, not long after the earthquake at Leiston Fortress, a declaration of safety was issued by the Central Factory's Chief Murdoch. Some concern was expressed at the statement, but as a practical matter there have been no earthquakes since. How such a declaration of safety, if possible, was explained by Chief Murdoch. We determined that the earthquakes were being caused by special circumstances, he clarified. These earthquakes, it seems, were being caused by underground septium veins, and that after analysis it was possible to state accurately when they had ended. The declaration also emphasized disaster preparedness for future incidents, however. Technology, new model engine, finally complete. The new model Orbital engine from the Central Factory is at last completed and has been revealed to the press. This engine was specifically designed for the cruiser RCA, and has higher output, as well as streamlined maintenance for field repairs. The new engine will increase the RCA's cruising speed to 3,200 cell per hour, over 4 times the speed of an airliner, making it the fastest ship in the world. Foreign Affairs, new engines drive peace. Samples of the new model engines referred to in our previous article are to be presented to both the Empire and Republic as tokens of the peace represented by this pact. These engines are said to be the key to next-generation flight, and such technological exchange is the promise made by those who promise to uphold the harmony between nations. Much is expected from Liberl's ace in negotiations. Society, Elmo Hot Springs get hot, hot, hot. In the earthquake-struck Zeiss region, even Elmo Village felt the wrath of nature. Following a quake, their hot springs began boiling. The phenomenon ceased after a few hours, but it's thought to be related to some form of underground abnormality. After investigating, the Bracer Guild issued a statement that it was temporary with no likelihood of reoccurrence. That is actually true, and we're thankfully not needing to bend the truth very much this time, just we're not mentioning the fact that it was man-made. A possible connection to the quakes will be investigated by the Central Factory at a later date. So I think that's implied to be the article that Notitia was working on earlier. This was still there in the last game, but let's just say you want to remember this house for later. For now though, we can actually go in here to fight that monster. And that's where we'll go next time, so join me then for Grancel Sewers West Block, and I think we'll also be going to the Herb Scenic route and taking on the monster there, so see you then.